I've been producing for over 5 years, and honestly, I wasted a lot of that time making the same mistakes you're probably making right now. But after years of trying and failing, I've now landed songs and collabs with some of my favorite artists and producers, created a sound kit store that earns me money while I sleep, and built a brand that grows month after month. So in this video, I'm gonna tell you exactly what I wish someone would have told me when I was first starting out, so you can skip years of trial and error. I'll also be giving you a tool that will make this process way easier for you. Here's the first thing I would have told myself, and it's definitely something you need to hear too. Lesson 1. You have enough time. I used to work full-time in the VFX industry as an artist. I'd work from 9 a.m. till 6:30 p.m., sometimes 7 or 8 p.m. Every night I'd get home, think about making music or content, and immediately tell myself I didn't have enough time. After months of doing this and being stuck in the exact same cycle, I realized life did not care about the special circumstances that were holding me back. So I started getting up at 6 a.m. so I could get a couple hours in before I started work. After work, I'd squeeze in another hour or two if I could. Rinse, repeat. So instead of me trying to cram 6 or 7 hours of work in on a Saturday and getting stressed out, I was able to get in 3 to 4 hours of solid work in each day. That's 21 hours of work compared to 6, a 250% increase in output. And because it was only a small amount of work each day, this avoided me getting burned out, and it made the process way more enjoyable. So when you're done watching this, really sit down and think to yourself about your schedule and whether not having enough time is a lie that you've been telling yourself. Now, I get that some of you might have kids or other people that depend on you, or you've got intense school schedules that make your time very limited. So that's why the next thing I wish I learned is what's gonna actually get you results, even with limited time. Sorry for the aggressive hand gestures, I can't help it. Lesson 2. Focus on your 10x tasks. I used to struggle with feeling like I was doing a lot, but getting nowhere, which was frustrating as hell. But here's where I went wrong. I was doing a load of 1x tasks and not focusing on my 10x tasks. 10x tasks are the main tasks that push you forward towards your goals. And these tasks are different for everyone. If you're trying to make a living selling beats online, making production tutorials is a 1x task. Making and uploading your beats are your 10x tasks. If you're trying to build an income selling kits online, uploading type beats is a 1x task. Sound design and making content are your 10x tasks. If you're new and your main priority is just making better music, your 10x task is just to keep consistently learning and making music. When we focus only on our 10x tasks, that's when we see the most results, as all our effort and brain power is going into it. Here's how to make it work for you. 1. Define your main goal. 2. Identify your 10x tasks. This is a small handful of actions that will get you to those goals. And 3. Execute on these tasks consistently, week after week. To make this even easier for you, I'm going to give you a tool I made for my mentorship students for free. All right, so here's our consistency tracker. First, set your main goal at the top and hit save. Let's say you're focused on landing your first placement. We can hit save. We're only concentrating on this so we can delete these other ones. Next, you focus only on the actions that will get you this goal. So let's delete this. As you can see here, each of these tasks are changeable. You can even add your own custom task here, rename it. You can also set the amount of tasks that you want to do each week. So if we want to land a placement, we can say we want to make 5 melodies a week, post 3 beats to YouTube a week, network with 1 producer every weekday, and maybe we could post a couple Instagram reels per week that are targeted at artists. We could also do send out weekly samples, set that to 1. And now every time we do one of those tasks during the week, we just check them off like this. And once you've done all your tasks for the week, I've even given you a little consistency streak just to make you feel good about yourself. If you want to grab that for free, just hit the link in the description. Now, learning the importance of time management was crucial, but the realization I had next completely shifted the way I saw my music career. Lesson 3. It's your fault. When I was messaging other producers and getting crickets, posting content and getting no views, putting out kits and getting no sales, I thought the algorithm was out to get me, or people were just sleeping on my amazing talent. But this was not the case. My content got no views because it was shit. No one responded to me because my music was shit. No one bought my kits because they were shit. If something isn't working out for you, there is always a reason why, which means there's always a solution. So before you get demotivated, think, what's the cause for these poor results? And how can I fix this? I promise you, once you start taking responsibility when things aren't going your way, your brain will naturally switch to problem-solving mode. And that's a way better use of your time than feeling sorry for yourself. Now, the next thing that I wish I would have told myself is something not many producers are willing to accept. Lesson 4. Obey the law of equivalent exchange. The law of equivalent exchange is that to get something, you have to give something up in return. Now, I thought I could get everything without giving anything. I was grinding production and content while going out with my friends every weekend, while consistently trying to hit the gym, while gaming and binging content. Unfortunately, if you really want to get results, you need to give up the things that aren't getting you closer to what you want. That doesn't mean you have to become a hermit and give up your social life or the things that you enjoy completely. Just try cutting it back. You want to go out and get drunk with your friends? Do it once a month or once every other month. You want to play games and doom scroll? Do it on a Sunday evening. Live your life, but learn that sometimes you have to tell yourself no. This applies to music too. You may have to sacrifice certain tasks for others. When you laser focus and obsess over one main thing, that's when you'll get the craziest results. This leads me to one of the biggest excuses I used to tell myself, and I bet you've told yourself the same thing too. Lesson 5, you'll never be ready. When I was starting out, I used to tell myself that I would share my music when I was ready. I'd post when my beats were good enough. I'd make content when I learned how to edit really well. I'd network with producers when my melodies were amazing. There is never going to be a perfect time to start anything. Life will always give you a reason to delay things. But if you sit on the fence for too long, your ass is gonna get hurt. No diddy. Messy action is better than none at all. Every successful producer I know all started before they felt ready. And look at them now. Go post that beat even if it's not perfect. Go make that video even if you feel awkward on camera. It's through trying and failing that you actually learn something. Let's go to my page and sort the videos by oldest. So today we're gonna be making a drill beat for Video Foreign, but we're gonna be sampling Castlevania. Now this leads me to a pitfall every single producer on this earth experiences at some point, and it's something that can make or break your career and kill your motivation to keep going. Lesson 6, comparison is dumb as fuck. You hear this all the time because it's true. You open up Instagram and you're hit with placement post after placement post, plaque after plaque. Comparison is something I've been 100% guilty of. But what's helped me to avoid it is to reduce my exposure to what other producers are doing. Yeah, I have the odd scroll every now and then, but 90% of the time when I'm on Instagram, I'm in my DMs because I'm only seeing things that are relevant to me. Sometimes you just need to put your blinders up and focus solely on yourself. However, if this advice means that you're gonna have to stop watching my videos, completely disregard everything I just said. I'm just playing. When you're focused on what you need to do and not constantly watching what the next man or woman is doing, your mindset is slowly going to shift. When you do see someone win, your first thought is going to be, good shit, they deserve that. Instead of,
it should have been me, not him! It's not fair!
Because odds are they've taken actions that you haven't yet. So take ownership of that fact and get to work. However, one big mistake I made was thinking doing the things I needed to do meant doing it by myself, which is why I wish I could have told myself this. Lesson 7, collaboration is key. Collaborating and forming connections with other producers is one of the most important things you can do for your career. For one, it can open up doors and opportunities you never would have gotten by yourself. But when you're making music together, you can unlock ideas you never would have thought of alone. If you can't collaborate in person, do it through using other people's loops or sending them your own. Or make your melodies using starters or phrases from other producers. No one is going to be listening to your beats and go, hold on, did he use an accent or phrase on this? There is no shame in not doing everything yourself. But realistically, all these lessons will be useless unless you really take in what I'm about to cover next. Lesson 8, take care of yourself. In my opinion, the state of your body and your mind is just as important as your musical talent. I can't tell you how many music producers I've known over the years that have been way more talented than me, but quit because they just couldn't get their mind right. They would stop and start constantly, switch from goal to goal, then ultimately just give up altogether. If you're not expending energy physically, that pent-up energy manifests into worry and anxiety, which dulls your creativity and drive. So unless you have a physical disability, exercise is non-negotiable. You have no excuse. If you're broke, go for a run. If you don't have legs, do some pull-ups. Statistically speaking, at least one of you watching this may not have legs, so I apologize for that. Yeah. Now you know this already. What your brain consumes shapes how you think. If you're filling your day with brain rot and dopamine content, your brain gets used to that level of stimulation. So anything that's not as exciting is boring. That's why when it's time to sit down and create, it feels way harder. Not because you suck, but because your dopamine's already been spent. I'm not saying never to indulge in stuff like this, because I definitely do sometimes. Just limit it to the weekends maybe. My guilty pleasure used to be watching all of them negative downfall videos, but that negativity creeped its way into my brain. So now I mainly watch videos on space and camping and shit. It's a lot more wholesome. Not that you care about any of what I just said. This brings me to the final thing I wish I could have told myself, which would have saved me 5 years of struggle. Lesson 9. Seek help. I want you to think about how easy it is to solve other people's problems. A friend or a family member come to you for advice and the solution is obvious. Now, for some reason, we can never do that with ourselves. That's why getting guidance from someone who's already been where you are can make all the difference. So if you feel like you need someone to hold you accountable, someone who will tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear, I offer a one-to-one mentorship program where you get personalized help with your production, figuring out what your goals are and what you actually need to do to get there. And you'll also have someone to hold you accountable. Hit the link in the description to apply to join, and we'll see if I can help you. Now that you'll be able to avoid all of the mistakes that I made, mindset is only one piece of the puzzle. The other 50% is consistently being able to make good beats without overthinking. If you can't do this, you are doomed to fail. So I would advise staying locked in with me for just a bit longer and checking out this video next.